Hi, we are live. We're live, we're live, we're live. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I am well and blessed, and I am grateful for another day to be able to speak to you, another opportunity for us to engage, and another live where we have another amazing business guest that we can learn from. The goal with the show and this business series is to bring you the people and the conversations that we think can actually help you in your journey of business building. And so I want to make sure that every single week I bring you somebody that I really think is amazing that we can all learn from. As you know, I'm on my journey of building my business, and everything that I do on this page and everything that, I share on this page is really just to assist you along your journey as well, right? We're all on our journeys, and it's only right that we, can help each other, uplift each other, empower each other with the information. I'm a firm believer of education and knowledge sharing, especially from people that have been there, done what we want to do, and are successful at it as well. So it's going to be a really amazing live if you just stick with me. Every Monday I hop on here and I am ready to give you guys the tips, the tools, and all the information that you need to grow your business. And so as we wait for Instagram to let a few people know that we are out here and are already in the streets, our guest is already in the house. So I'm always impressed when my guests are just like really on time. It just is once again proof that when you're dealing with serious business people, they do take their time, and so they take their time seriously. So they make sure that they are in time. So it's going to be an amazing one today. And also, while we wait, guys, on the 6th of April is the annual Small Business Runway exhibition. It's taking place in Alexandra. A lot of people have been asking, oh my gosh, why is it in Alexandra? Because that is where we need, that is where the real need of small business, small businesses in the townships need the most help. And so we are bringing this expo right where there's a need for them to happen. I know that you guys, we had one expo last year at Gallagher Convention Center in Midrand, and it was a fantastic exhibition, I must add. And we had an amazing, lineup of guests and speakers. However, I thought, this year, we are going to bring it closer to the people. As you guys know, I am a regular now on LXFM. So every Monday morning between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, I'm there. I'm sharing some business tips. And so we've just formed this partnership. We were like, okay, let's just bring this event to the people that need it the most. The people that are on the streets that, might have limited resources, don't have the best of backgrounds, but we're there to bring hope. We're there to bring inspiration. We're there to network. We're there to learn, to grow, and to increase our circle of business owners. And so it's really, really exciting. Right after Easter, on the 6th of April, we are gathering there. Of course, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and so we are cognizant of the fact that we have to adhere to COVID regulations. And, we are obviously also expecting the president to speak tomorrow. And so it's going to be, just sort of dependent on that, what capacity or what kind of numbers we can take. But we are definitely on next week, Tuesday. So it's literally in a week's time. I haven't had much of sleep, as you guys can imagine. I'll actually do a live or a video one day where I actually take you guys behind the scenes of everything that goes into event organizing. People think it's easy. People just think even an online event is there's so many things. There's so many boxes you need to tick. There's so many things that are involved. And so, yeah, I really, it's exciting for me. I think it's a challenge every time. And, I take it the way that it is, but I think it'll be interesting to actually share the journey with you guys as I'm planning, as I'm making the sales calls. In fact, tell me, would you guys actually want to see that when I'm making all the sales calls, what kind of emails I send out, how I talk to, the people that do the venue hiring, how I talk to the caterers, everything. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'm also trying to test the delay to see if, okay, it's 4 minutes past now, to see, what kind of feedback we're getting, if the network is good, if we are, hearing and seeing each other properly. So do me a favor. If you can hear me and see me, please drop me a heart emoji right now in the comments so I can see that we're good to go, so that I can officially just add our guest onto the live. He is on here. So I would like to just, obviously swiftly get along with that conversation. So if you guys just quickly tell me, can you hear me? Can you see me? And then we'll continue with our conversation. Okay. So I suspect there is a little bit of a time delay. Yeah, there is a little bit of time delay. Not that it's an issue. We continue nonetheless. So my guest for today is, so if you do want to register for, to be part of the exhibition, it is free to attend. So you can literally just click the link in my bio when we're done with this conversation, and you can just click on Annual Small Business Runway Exhibition. You can register your details there and join us on the day. And so, yeah, the event is free to attend for everybody there. But also, please bring some coins, some ching-ching, some money. There'll be small businesses that are exhibiting there. So we want to be able to support those small businesses. We want to be able to make sure that they, oh my gosh, there's a huge delay in terms of, there's a huge time delay. I'm just getting the heart emojis right now. Okay, alrighty. Let's see. Let's test it with Trevor and see if it works out. And then we can take it from there. So, I'm gonna add Trevor because he's already requested. So, Trevor Mumba is a Zambian-born entrepreneur, and I have to mention that because I think he does come from a very humble background. He is now the owner and the founder of Rovert Marketing, Rovert Ranches, Rovert Logistics. And so you guys can just imagine, this is a literally busy guy. I think I'm also even catching him in Zambia right now. So he's not even in the country. But, against all odds, he calls himself the self-styled king. And so, everybody, let's welcome Trevor Mumba to the live. Hi, Trevor.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well. I can see you well.
Nice.
And so I'm excited for this. And I'm glad that I actually thought there was going to be a time delay, but I see that, we are good in terms of just the feedback. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, the sound is good from your side. The picture quality is good. I see more people joining in. I'm great, man.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. I actually just remembered 10 minutes or so before 6. Like, hey, we are going live. But luckily I was just within the hotel. Thanks, sis. We just traveled to Zambia today with the wife. Just made me a cup of tea just to make sure I'm talking sense.
You're talking sense. Is it tea or coffee, Trevor?
It's coffee.
It's coffee. Okay. I got you. Yo, so I'm excited about today because okay, somebody's saying the sound is a little muffled on Trevor's end.
Yeah, that's
Trevor, do you have your earphones in, right?
Yes, I do. Do you want me to try just fix the most, see if that would be better? What do you suggest?
Let's try that.
Okay, let me just.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Oh, it's actually more audible now. It's like louder.
It's much better, yeah?
It's much better, yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm saying today's exciting for me and it's interesting
Yes.
because I don't think you know how long I've been following you specifically.
I've,
From the day of like real promotions and all of that. In fact, I used to work at a company, and the company that you used to work for was our client. Anyway, long story short, I have seen your moves. I have seen the Rovid ranches. I've seen the Rovid marketing. I've seen, my goodness, even now Rovid logistics. And I'm just like, this guy is making moves. Like, first of all, how are you doing it all? Let's start there.
um, the how is the crazy part, man. But firstly, thank you for having followed me this long. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. It's actually humbling when you've got people that have seen you grow. Because there are people that we meet at a certain point in our lives, and they meet us already made, and they just see all this stuff around. So when you've got people that have followed you from way back, they've seen the process, they've seen the moves, they've seen sometimes even the downfalls, that can be so humbling. So thank you so much. How I actually do all this stuff is, I think, a big part of the conversation today. I know there's a lot of questions I think that you're going to ask that I will keep going back to how I'm doing it. But for now, I can say I'm grateful that right from scratch, when I started building my business, I paid a lot of attention to building a great team around me. So I've been I've been paying a lot of attention to the kind of people that I bring on the team. There's a certain kind of energy that I look for. There's a certain kind of craziness that I look for. These people have to understand who I am. They have to understand my craziness. I'm not a very normal guy. I'm not your usual corporate guy. So to me, it's been very important that whenever I work with people, that we understand each other on that level. And that I understand the kind of dreams that they have, the kind of goals that they are chasing. So I've actually grown with my team. My whole management team at the moment, if I tell you, Tina, the newest member of my management team has been with me for 3.5 years. You understand, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
at that point where I'm allowed to be crazy because I've got people around me that can say, okay, Trevor, we get it. Give it to us now. And they run with it. So that allows me to go on to the next move and create it and pass it on. And that is very important. And like I said, I think we're going to go back to this or come back to this a little bit more, because it's something that every business person needs to understand. You're as good as the team around you.
Wow. It's actually interesting that you actually start there. Trevor, you're actually sounding like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to say who, but you're sounding like a lot of the guys that I actually follow. And it's so important. I've been learning that,
Yeah.
I've also been in the business game for about 3-4 years now, like full-time business. And it's one of the things that I'm learning, like the people that you surround yourself with are very
Yeah.
important. So it's actually interesting that you start there. And also, so are entrepreneurs like crazy people? Like, are we crazy when we're like, I'm opening a business, I'm like doing, I'm working for myself? Are we crazy?
Yes, Tina, we
Or
are
should
crazy,
we?
and that's not a bad thing at all. Look, you can't create anything worth talking about. You can't create something that's going to change people's lives if you're not crazy. It takes a certain level of craziness. It takes a certain level of guts. You need to be very brave. And I did an interview with one of my friends, right here on IG Live not long ago, and they asked me if entrepreneurship was for everybody, and my answer to that question is always no. That's because some people just don't have what it takes. It takes a lot of sacrifice. I like to say that when you decide to be on this path, you also have to accept that there's a certain kind of fun you will never have. There are certain kinds of places you will never go to. There's a certain kind of thinking you can never be a part of. And that is outside what people call normal. So if it's outside what people call normal, then that's crazy, right? Okay, but to be able to see opportunities from a perspective that we do, that most people don't, that means there's something different about the way our minds work. And obviously that takes practice, and it takes experience. We fuck up so many times, excuse the French, but we are brave enough to go back to all those moments where we messed up and say, what did I learn from that? While a lot of people shy away from failure, it's like we want it. We don't know it, but we want to fail. And every person that wants to be an entrepreneur, you want to fail, and you want to fail very early, because a lot of the things that you are going to build on will depend on the amount of failure that you face. That becomes a great foundation. There are things that are hard to explain to a lot of people until they go through them, you know. So yeah, you have to be crazy. You can't be a normal person to do the stuff that we do. And the crazier you are, the more money you make.
So crazy is good in our world, right?
Listen, there's nothing wrong with it at all. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Look at Elon Musk. Is that guy normal to you? Look at Jeff Bezos.
No.
Is that guy normal to you? Look at Donald Trump. Is that guy normal to you? Okay. Look at Cyril Ramaphosa. Does that guy look normal to you? You know, like, you can carry on and talk about all the people that have done all these great things. There's very little normalcy in who we are, man. But that's fine. Let's embrace it.
Yeah. So we are crazy people. What else do you think it takes? What else, like, what are some of the, like, attributes, whether it's personality or it's like, you know, certain skills that you should have? What are some of those other things?
For me, the first thing, right, and this is interesting because it's been a big part of my conversations with people today. I had this conversation with my wife, with part of my team in Zambia, the foods team, people. One of the most, I think, disturbing things that I've heard from people that want to make money is say, I'm not a people person. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not a people person and you want to make money. So who are you going to sell to? So the first thing you need to understand is that you need to be a people person. Because who are you creating solutions for anyway? Remember, a big part of entrepreneurship is solving problems. So how are you going to solve a problem for people that you don't love? Okay, who are you actually solving problems for if you don't love people? So no matter what you try and do, no matter what industry or sector you're in, begin to learn people, begin to understand people, begin to take interest in understanding and learning people and what drives people, people's backgrounds, you know, all these little things. Whatever you can learn about people is going to be a great tool in you building your business or businesses down the line. Secondly, discipline. Listen, it's easy to start stuff, but to keep going, that takes a certain level of discipline. And that's where a lot of people just mess up. You can start, okay, and then what next? So people talk about consistency. Do you realize that consistency is just a product of discipline? Okay. The ability to say no to certain things because they'll derail you off the path that you're on. The ability to make money and go home and watch TV or read a book or play video games and play with your kids. And you've got so much money that you've made from one deal as you are chasing the next, you know. The ability to still wake up in the morning at 4 when you made a meal a day ago. You know, I like to ask my employees this, that so look at it this way, right? You want to live in a nice house, you want to drive the nice cars, you want to wear the nice clothes, you want to travel. One day you wake up and you realize that you are there, you've done all these things. Will you still work as hard as you did on the first day? The ability to do that on its own, right, is power. And that's what keeps people making things and creating things and wanting more and actually winning and learning from all the things that they are building. So discipline is a big part of it. Even if you are disciplined, another thing you come across is the need for sacrifice. You always have to pick between this or that. And it's not always going to be easy. You know, sometimes we spend so much time working and little time with our families for the same people that we wish we could spend time for. Sometimes we have to stay away from our kids for them, not for us. Because if we can just learn to sacrifice a little bit of time today, it will buy us more time to spend with them tomorrow. And I know people say it's very important that you spend as much time as you can with your kids, with your wife. Yes, very important. I agree. I've got a beautiful wife. I love her. I've got a beautiful daughter. I love her. You know that, right? But there are times when I have to stay away from them because I'm working hard for them just so tomorrow we can spend more time together. And the list is endless, but it's gonna take a lot, and it's not easy, but somebody has to do it.
So I know specifically with some of your businesses. Okay, in fact, you've mentioned that there's like sales that's involved. Like you need to be able to like people and you need to be able to sell, How do we cultivate that? Because I do believe there's genuinely some people that might be entrepreneurially inclined, but because of whatever fears or whatever, whether it's the fear of rejection or like just not knowing or being afraid of how people will receive you. Like, how do we overcome that thing? Like, how do we now cultivate this like sales mentality if it's just not natural to you?
Yeah, man, this is a long conversation, but a big part of it is understanding that a lot of what holds us back as Black people mostly is cultural. And we have to learn to fight that. So, for example, self-love is not something that we really understand as Black people. We are mostly raised to be humble. You can't tell people how great you are. You can't. And I can tell you, I've worked with a lot of white kids. I spend a lot of time with white kids. Those are some of the things where they just kick our asses. These kids just believe they can do it. And they go ahead and they do it. And no matter how hard it is, we might just have to start there. Tina, you can do it. People that win look like you. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you saying, I'm good at this. A lot of Black people think them telling you how good they are is being arrogant. No, but if you're good, you're fucking good. That's the truth, right? Like, it is what it is. Like, I can sell with my eyes closed. When I tell you that, I'm not being arrogant. I'm telling you the truth. I've built a whole business. My core business is sales and marketing. I built a whole business based off my skill. I can sell. I'm not lying. That's the truth. And the more that I say it, the more people believe me and want to give me opportunities. The more opportunities I get, the more I get to practice and to put myself out there and get better at what I do. So self-esteem, and obviously again, that's mindset. How do you feel about yourself? What have you been taught about yourself? If anybody ever told you you're not good enough, they lied. Don't believe them. You are good. You're just as good as the next guy that did it. What's the difference between you and Elon Musk? Elon Musk just believes so much more. The last 2 weeks we've been talking about Kanye West. Kanye West is doing some stupid shit right now. We are looking at his net worth being at $6.6 billion, and people are saying he's crazy. And I'm like, okay, you are not crazy, then show us your billion. Okay, but go back to where this guy started. How many things did he say he was going to do that he's done? His mother named him Kanye. His mother named him Kanye. Kanye means the only one. And she made him believe, you are my only son and you're going to do amazing things. And he believed it. So let's start there. Who lied to you that you can't do it? One of the reasons why I'm where I am and doing all these things is because I was raised by my grandmother. And even though my grandmother was illiterate, my grandmother taught me to believe in myself. One of the best pieces of business advice I've ever gotten in my life came from my grandmother. She told me, baby, you can do anything as long as it's legal. Think about it. Anything. Anything. As long as it's legal. So I've always looked at it and said, okay, I can sell food. I can sell this. I can do that. I can do that. And I'm doing it. And again, that fear of rejection. Guys, life is not fair. Get over yourself. You're not that special. Okay. Listen.
Yeah, get us together. Get us together. Get us
Get,
together.
get over yourself. You are not that important. The thought that people shouldn't reject you is entitlement on its own. I run a sales company and I teach my sales guys this all the time. When you want every customer you talk to say yes to you, who the fuck do you think you are? That's entitlement. Why should people listen to you? But you're going to have to keep going every day, keep talking to people. And most of the people won't even like you. Why should they like you? But somebody's going to say yes, and that's all that matters. Okay? By the way, what's the worst that can ever happen to you when you're selling a product, when you put yourself in front of people? People will say no, but that's it. Have you ever heard anybody get shot because they tried to sell something? Maybe if you are trying to sell drugs or something, some illegal shit, then you deserve it. But if you are selling straightforward things and you're just trying, people will say no, they will call you names, but that's it. That's it. The worst people can say is no. And then are you so afraid of no that you're going to keep yourself in the house, lock yourself up and not try? Okay, after 10 no's, you get a yes. No worries. If you get 10 yeses in a day and your profit per product is $10, that's $100. Okay, if you're making $100 off every product that you sell and you're getting one yes after every 10 pitches that you do, you're making $1,000 a day. You do that 5 times a week. You've got 5 Gs. That's $20, $20K at the end of the month. You're chilling. Now you can afford to buy yourself that little car. You can afford to not ask people for money. Now double the numbers. Okay, instead of speaking to 10 people in a day, speak to 20, knowing very well that 18 of them are going to say no. I train my sales guys to expect people to say no to them. It's all about expectation. No matter how nice your product is, not everybody's going to say yes. Like, think about it. Tina, you're a woman. Even you've had crushes on some guys, and sometimes they say no to you. You're like, he doesn't like me. Yeah, why should he? You're not his type or whatever. Just like, guys, like, for me to marry my wife, do you know how many chicks said no to me? And she's here, she's listening. Man, like, it's a battle out there. It's crazy. But you have to keep going. And in the end, right, it's all this rejection that you face on the way that makes the win even so much better. It makes it worth it. You understand? After going through all these manifold struggles, when you finally get to that win, man, it's so much better because you fought for it. And it just gives you some meaning in your life, man. It's beautiful.
Yo, so I think now is a good time then to ask you, like, have you always been like this, Trevor? Because I know from obviously following your journey and some of the things that you share on social media, you haven't had it easy. You didn't just like, oh, now all of a sudden I'm this self-styled king and I am, Trevor. You've had your back against the wall. So I'm interested to know now that moment from like having your back against the wall and then making that decision that, you know what?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna, like, the only way is up now. Like, what is going, like, just tell me the process. What is going through your mind? What did you tell yourself? What is going on just, around you internally? All of that.
Yeah, so I lost my mom when I was 8. I'm the only child. I lost my dad when I was 9. I grew up in the ghetto in a place called Matero. Matero is like, what's the best South African neighborhood to... Babe, you've been to Matero and you were born in Soweto. What can you compare it to? Which part of Soweto?
Zola.
Zola. So if you know Zola, Zola. So that's Matero, right?
Okay.
That part of, you know what I'm saying, or some part of Alex. So I'm a ghetto kid, proper ghetto where you go to school. The teacher is telling you education is the key to success, but you can see this guy is hungry as well. He probably didn't eat last night. And you're supposed to believe education is the key to success. And your teacher, you look at your teacher's shoe, man, like it needs some polish and shit. You coming out of class and there's bars outside. The older guys in the hood that drank already. Already school doesn't give you any hope, does it? You know, I laugh about these things, but this is the reality of where I grew up. You know, where you had guys in the hood whose only credibility, right, or the only thing they could boast about, Tina, is the fact that they could beat everybody on that street. So that's where you're growing up. Okay, so that's the kind of background I come from, right? But you start to tell yourself as a kid that I don't know if I want this. And I remember at some point, a lot of kids hated me in primary school because I realized that being in a poor school, a lot of kids were like me, right? But there were a few exceptions who came from better homes. So I started going around school and I would be like, hey, how are you, man? What's your name? I'm Tina. Where do you come from? What do you do? If I found out you were poor like me, Tina, you can't be my friend. What the fuck are you going to teach me? So I became that kid. Like, you're broke, I'm broke. You're poor, I'm poor. Your grandmother sells guineas on the streets. My grandmother sells the same shit. We can't be friends.
Yeah.
So I started finding out what the other kids from the better homes were talking about, where they went to holidays, the last holiday. Like, so I wanted better. And slowly it became hard for me to play with kids from my neighborhood. I started playing with kids from other neighborhoods. That level of exposure, right, helped get me out of that ghetto mindset. I wanted better. I wanted better. And then I started realizing that while everybody wants to just pray and hope God does something for them in the hood, people from the better suburbs were not doing that. They were setting goals. They were ambitious. They wanted to work hard. I was like, I'm going to do what the other kids do. And then fast forward, it was hard for me to stay in school. I was always hustling. So guess what? You get to grade 12 and you fail your matric. I wasn't in school much, so I failed my matric. And then, long story short, I've never been to college. I've never been to university. I know it's very hard for a lot of people to believe that, but I just read a lot. So I'm that guy that when I mean to create proper English syntaxes, I can create sentences in a way that most people can't. Because I read a lot. So I'm self-taught. Okay, but I've always been hungry. And look, I think one of the best things that ever happened to me, right, is to ever be told I wouldn't make it. I used to speak very slowly as a kid that some people in my family thought I was retarded. And that broke my heart. That hit me. I remember at some point I was almost dropping out of school and my grandmother asked one of my uncles to pay for my school fees. And this nigga straight up looked at me and looked at my grandmother and said, I'm going to waste my money. This guy is going to be a thief. As a kid, believe me, that shit can break you. I'm grateful that I was strong enough to look at that and I took it as a dare. So every person who ever called me a stupid name, whoever doubted me, I took all those things as a dare. I was like, I'm going to show you, motherfuckers. Okay. And that's the kind of kid that I am. Okay. But my first hustle, Tina, was selling DVDs on the streets, like my first real hustle. So obviously I'd sold a lot of things before that. I helped my grandmother sell sugar cane. You know, like I would go to these gardens where there's sugar cane plantations. So from Matero, there's actually a place called Garden. Okay. Would walk to a place called Garden. It's called Garden because it's like a swampy place, and there was a lot of sugar cane there. So we'd buy sugar cane and then go back to Matero and sell one piece of sugar cane for a certain amount. So already as a kid, I knew what capital was. I knew what profit was. You know, I understood what I needed to put back into the business to get more sugar cane. My grandmother taught me how to fry peanuts, you know, roast peanuts on a pan, then put some salty water on it, you know, then dry it up and then put it in little plastics, and I would sell it at the market or at the stadium because we lived near Matero Stadium. At some point, I used to help my grandmother sell donuts. One of my aunts was a tailor, so there was always these off-cut pieces of clothing in the house. So my grandmother would take those, you know, put them together on a 25 kg of maize meal, empty maize meal, make a donut. I would go around the neighborhood, sell those. But my first real hustle on the street was selling pirated movies. That's where I started, you know?
Oh my God.
And then from there was no holding me back. Now I could sell shoes, I've sold clothes, sometimes I don't even remember what I've sold. So when I moved to South Africa, I think like 2007, and I got a job at some sales company called PDM, and they told me I had to go to the field and sell stuff. I was like, okay, it's okay. I've been doing this anyway. You understand? And that's it. You know, from there, I just decided I can do this on my own. I can build a company. You know, I learned what I needed to learn. I hated the fact that the money was terrible. I didn't like the way that company treated people. I was like, this is a good business, but if you can treat people better and pay people better, you can do so much more. So at the right time, that's exactly what happened. I worked on my papers. Obviously, as a foreigner, I had to be in the country legally. I did that, registered the business, and started. And right now, I can actually boast about
Trevor,
it.
you a little bit. Sorry, Trevor, you're a little bit blurry. I don't know if it's just me.
Is it?
Just went a little bit blurry. Yeah.
Am I still blurry?
Yeah, you are. I don't know if it's just me though. Can people tell us
Okay,
if they are?
I just tried to refresh my page. Hope you don't lose me there.
Yeah.
Can you get me?
So it's black now.
Okay. Am I back?
No. So it's still blurry. Okay, so I'm seeing also comments saying that he is. I'm not
I
sure
don't
what happened or what changed.
maybe it's my network. Maybe it will get better. But can you hear
Yeah,
me
maybe
though?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Look, I'm not the best looking guy anyway. Don't worry about my face. Let's carry on.
Okay, let's continue.
Like
Yes.
the voice matters. The voice matters.
Hey?
The voice is all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
You
got
know,
you.
so that's basically been part of it, and yeah. So fast forward to today, I'm just as hungry as I was when I started, man. I don't know. For me, I just can't stop waking. And at some point, I used to tell myself that I wanted to retire at 40. I'm turning 38 tomorrow. So I'm very close to 40,
Wow.
and I don't see myself retiring. I've decided I want to work for the rest of my life. Like, work gives me meaning. It's not even about the money.
Yeah.
It gives me purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hold on. So you also from that the money is not everything school of thought, because I actually wanted to ask you this. I've actually got it in my notes. A lot of people, I feel, that have accumulated some kind of money, some kind of wealth, some kind of assets in their life, always say this. Like, what is it about when you get money, then you feel like money's not everything? Like, what are we missing, Trevor? Like, what are
No.
we really?
So I'm gonna be very honest about this, right? Money is everything. Okay. Think of almost all our problems. Most of the times when you're stressing in your life and you think of your problems, you realize that it's money related, right?
True.
Listen to this. Money is so big, money is so important that if Africans had money, we wouldn't pray as much as we do. I know that's something to think about, right? So money is everything. Money is everything, and everybody should work hard enough to have enough money to stop worrying about it. So when we get to this stage where we're not worried about the money now, and it's very important, money is important, but at some point you get to a level where you realize that you're not stressed about money anymore. So now you start to pay attention to other things. Like, what is it that I want to do with my life? Now that I've got the money, what do I really want to do? So when you look at my social media, right, all my social media presence, or platforms, you see something very consistent, and that's my bio. I'm a model of possibilities. Now I'm using my money to show the other kids that don't have it, that want it, that it's possible. So we had this joke earlier, right? While driving with one of my boys in Lusaka, and he's saying, "Hey, I'm a nice guy, you know." What did he say? I'm a good guy. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, we're not disputing that, but you know, like, ask women what they think about nice guys. Okay, if you don't have money, I don't think women really give a fuck that you're a nice guy. It's like, but okay, you can't even prove it because you don't have money. Now you can't prove you're a good guy. Because when I need help from you, you can't fucking help me, can you? So now you're not a good guy. So the lack of money now has put you in a position where you can't even prove how good you are. So you can't help people with nothing. You want to help people, make money. You want to change the world, make money. You want to take your family out of that poverty, make money. In fact, take yourself out of fucking poverty before we even listen to you. You know those uncles in the family that are so wise, but no one listens to them because they are broke. You don't want to be one of those uncles. Like, I looked at some uncles when I was a kid. I was like, this guy is smart, but no one is going to listen to him here. Hauna mali malume. Yes, it's tough out here. It's just real, right? So you listen. You want people to listen to you. Just make money. No one really cares how intelligent, how wise you are. Money just proves a lot of things to you. You want to be effective, make money. But at some point, right, you realize that, okay, I've made the money now. So what's next? That's why we start to use those lines, that money is not everything, because you have it. If you are broke, stay away from using such sentences. They don't apply to you. Let's rich people. Let's rich people talk about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is not everything. You know why? Because I can go and buy an official AMG fucking cap. That's Petronas. They won yesterday. You can buy that stuff. It's expensive. Now you can say money is not everything, because whatever you want, you can buy. Put your wife and your daughter and your son in a nice home, then you can say money is not everything. You understand? Stop stressing about petrol just to go and see your girlfriend who lives in the next neighborhood. Then you can say, to some guys, just a chick living 5 k's away is a long distance relationship. Then you can't say money is not everything to you. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? So we also need to be very real about this. You know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So at some point now you start to say, okay, what do I want to do with my life? I want to reach out and help other people. So now the need to uplift others becomes more important than the money itself. Now that's what we mean when we say money is not everything. You begin to realize that fulfillment in your life is most important, because even though you have money but you don't feel complete, you feel you're always empty, then what's the point? And this is where you see some people make money and start doing drugs. You're like, but why does he do that? He's empty. He hasn't realized that money is not everything. So now that he has the money, he doesn't know what to do with it. So there's a balance that you need to strike, and I am hoping that a lot of us reach that balance as early as possible in our careers or on our journeys, so that we actually go ahead and be happy. I'm a very happy guy because I realized this very early. I'm like, okay, I'm making the money, and also, what do I want to do with the money? One of the things that have really helped me in my life is defining for myself very early what success means to me. Okay, because a lot of people don't think about it. You want to make money, but is that what success is? Like, what is success to you, Tina? A lot of people haven't asked themselves this question. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
I figured it out for myself. Yeah, you can answer. What is success to you?
For me, I think it's just living like a fulfilled life, you know, whether that looks like money, whether that is helping people, but just living. If you're just fulfilled, whether you've got money or not, for me, that's successful, you know. But I want money, Trevor. So I need you to tell me and all the business people here how we can make money. What are some of those like low-hanging fruits, like businesses, things that we should be doing? You talked about selling. What should we be selling that's going to make us money?
So the first thing about making money, everyone, is you need to love money. Fuck what you were taught about money being the root of all evil. So that's another thing you need to stay away from. If you don't have money, stop Stop talking ill about it. You can't be broke and say money is the root of all evil. How do you know? You don't have it. You're lying. You don't know. It's not true. So this is one of my theories, right? Or one of my beliefs. You can't have what you don't love. Okay? Why do I have my wife here with me? I love her. I saw this chick, I was like, I want her. I got obsessed with her. And then I got her. Same as money. You want to love it. You want it in your life. You get obsessed with it. I know there's a lot of guys that come tell you all sorts of shit. Like, first of all, also stop listening to motivational speakers. The only time I'm listening to you, the only time I'm listening to you is if I know you've got money and you can prove it consistently. Other than that, I'm not having a conversation with you around things that both me and you don't have or don't know. You understand? Like, you can't come to me to talk about football. Dude, I can't even kick a ball. When I was a kid, I realized that every time I played football, my team used to lose because I used to score on goals. I was useless. So I'm the worst guy to talk to about football. You know what I'm saying? So love money. Start spending time with people that understand money, that talk about it, that have got it. It's like anything else. Whatever you want to learn in life, go to the professionals. Go to people that can prove it. Okay? Do that. Okay? That's how it happens. Now, when it comes to what kind of businesses, this I cannot tell you, but here are some clues, right? Start where you are with what you have. What are you good at that you can offer to someone else as a service that they can pay for? Okay? So I know a friend, for example, right, that is naturally good at dancing. You know, I can't dance to save my life. And I'm grateful that I'll never at some point, I hope no one ever says, Trevor, dance or else we'll shoot you, because it will be RIP. I can't dance save my life. I've got a friend who just dances. They dance, like, for no reason, they just start dancing. You're like, dude, relax. So I was telling this friend of mine, say, have you thought of opening a dance studio? Because there are people that can actually learn how to dance. So some people are not like Trevor. Some people can actually learn how to dance, but they don't know anyone to teach them. You open a little dance studio. You can even do it at your house and bring people through. Say, we are going to do three sessions a week, $100 per session. You even put some add-ons in there and say, dancing is good for your health. You know, every time you dance for 30 minutes, you burn 300 calories. People can do it to lose weight. People can do it for fun. Next thing you realize, you've got 30 people paying you $100 per session. That's $3K times 3 days in a week. That's $9K. Dude, you are chilling. You don't need a job. You don't need, because you are good at it naturally. You enjoy doing it and you're going to have fun making money. Okay, so it's a small stuff like that. What are you good at? You can cook. Okay, every person that you cook for say, man, Tina, this food is amazing. You know, people pay money for food. Food is $1 billion industry. Obviously, you're not going to make $1 billion or billion rand overnight, but look in your neighborhood. How many professionals are in your neighborhood that go to work so early and come back late, and cooking is such a hard chore for them? Start offering that service. Hey, dude, I know you work so hard. How about you come up with a plan for me for this budget a week? I can make sure that every time you come from work, just pass by my house and pick up your lunch box or whatever, your takeaway, it's already cooked. That's a service right there. It's a small stuff. Like, I can give you endless examples on how to do that. You understand? How, like, I live in Lone Hill, right? Minimum to wash a car in Lone Hill is $110. Okay, how many cars do I have? Every weekend I spend a good amount of money washing cars. There's a guy that comes to our complex, okay, in our estate. This guy charges like $80. But when people think about it, they don't have to drive out of the estate. He's even bought himself a sprayer. He buys all these car products. How many houses are in there? He gets like 10 customers on a Saturday, right? Another 10 on a Sunday. He makes like $800 in one day, 1/6 for the weekend. if that's all this guy does, he's got over 6K per month. But it's small ideas like that. A big part of making money is losing this vazotini abantu. What do people say? Me washing a car. Fuck you, man. Like I already said, get over yourself. You're not that important. That's another thing about making money. Get over your fucking self. Okay? No one cares. Do you know that all money looks good? When you make money, go to the bank. Do you think the bank cares if this money came from washing a car, from baking pies, and blocking toilets? All money is good money. Okay? Really. So these are some of the small stuff that people can do. Like if you look at my businesses, Tina, they are not complicated. My food business is just that simple. Like in Zambia, right? We've got Robert Foods. We sell fresh fruits and veggies. Everybody eats. We are not changing how people eat. We are changing how the product gets to them. Some people don't have time to go to the market. Dude, there's Corona out there, man. Like, people don't want to go to the market, to the supermarkets. Like, take it to them. Take the food to them. They'll pay you. Put a little delivery charge. They'll pay you. That's what we are doing. Did it have to take a guy who lives in Santon to come to Lusaka to open a food business? You know why? There are so many people with grade 12 university certificates all wanting a spinning chair in a corner office. Okay. Good fucking luck. You're gonna keep watching us make money while you're waiting for I don't know who to come and save your ass. So get over yourself. Go out there and do whatever you can do to make money. So I won't tell you what exactly to do, but look around you. There's a need somewhere. Feel it. Learn it. Pay attention. Like, guys, money is easy to make. Do you know what's hard? Keeping it. But get there first and we'll teach you that. Make the money, then we'll teach you how to keep it. Okay.
No, man. Like, you're just dropping bombs all over. I'm literally like, whew. And it's these conversations, Trevor, that like plant a seed in someone's mind, like, no, man, I can do it. Sometimes we're looking for like the glamorized businesses. We're looking like, oh my gosh, there's influencers and other people that are doing other stuff for money. And we're like, oh my gosh, I also want to, do a magazine. Everybody's into media now. I want to be an influencer. I want to do a magazine.
We can't all be influencers. One thing I know about influencers is, first of all, just your body needs to attract people. Some of us are ugly, man. No one wants to go to Instagram and just look at us and pay for us. Like, come on, man, be real. Be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, that's the truth. I'm an influencer. Real, yeah. Who the fuck are you influencing? It's very hard to influence people with no money. What have you done? What have you done to say you're an influencer? And guys, this thing of waiting for the perfect job, even though you've got the right papers for it, I always ask people, if there's such a thing as a perfect job out there, why the fuck do you think it's waiting for you? Think about it. If that job is so perfect, why do you think it's exactly my point, right? So there's no such thing as a perfect job. You have to create those opportunities for yourself. But again, you know what? People don't like to hear the truth. They think they do, but they don't. There's probably somebody right now saying, what the fuck is this guy saying? Just log off and save yourself some data, man. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm curious to know, though. Like, okay, Trevor, like, okay, no, maybe not. But I almost want to, like how much money, like, do you think is, like, if you can have this, then I don't know if it's a silly question. I'm just thinking about it because you talk in the conversation of have money and then we'll teach you how to keep it. But it's like, how much money, Trevor, do we get to, like, how much money do we need to have? Like,
it's relative, man. So look at it this way. One thing I've learned about money is that the more you make, right, the more you're going to spend. And it's not a bad thing. Your lifestyle naturally just changes. Okay? Yeah. So that's just relative, right? But you need to ask yourself, and again, this is a very individual question. So for me, okay, I can tell you that I hear people all the time trying to tell you you need to get good at saving money, but you don't have any money to save. So what are they talking about? If you are living hand to mouth, right? Like, you can't save. And I just want to be real with you, because I've been there. You hear people saying we need to learn to save. No, we need to learn to first make the fucking money and have more than what we need, then we can save. And then there's a point where you say, okay, now that I'm learning how to make money, I didn't even have 500 per week. Now I've got 600 per week. What are my needs? I'm still short of 2,000 rand for me to get to a point where I feel like I'll stop stressing about transport and this. So set some goals. How are you going to get to the 2,000? Maybe you need to sell a little bit more of whatever you're selling. Maybe you need to do some piece work. Maybe after work, you need to find something extra to do to give you that money on the side. Now, get to that point and say, okay, cool. So what do I want to do next? You've got a business idea that needs a bit of money, right? So maybe work a little bit longer until you save up that money. I'm telling you this because that's exactly how I started my business. I started my business from my savings. The goal to do certain things was always there, but I didn't have the money. As a foreign black person in South Africa, I wasn't just going to walk into the bank and say, give me a loan. So I also accepted the fact that whatever business I was going to start, it had to be a small business, something that I could afford with whatever I had saved on the side. So this conversation is really a very honest, personal conversation that we all have to have with ourselves. What can I afford? If I decide to cut out something from my life right now, what is it? What can I afford to cut out? Do I really need to drink a bottle of wine every week? How much is that bottle of wine? Do I need it? And like I said earlier, that's sacrifice. You've gotten so used to that bottle of wine, but what exactly are you going to be missing out on life if you cut that bottle out? Because maybe that's your capital right there. And so for some people, it's not even alcohol, it's food. Some people just over fucking eat. Like, ask yourself, do I really need to eat this much? What if I cut out this unnecessary snack or meal and then replace it with a fucking walk or water? I'm telling you guys, it's gonna hurt. But like I said earlier, the more it hurts, the more it's gonna be worth it in the end. But these are very honest conversations. And like I said, I can't tell you what it is, but you look at your life and decide for yourself, because we are all different. My lifestyle is very different. When I say I'm saving money at my level, it's like someone's whole salary somewhere else. So you can't ask me, Trevor, how are you saving? What I'm saving is not what you're saving, or how I'm saving is not how you are saving. But for you, what do you have and what can you put away? What do you actually want? So the same way that I asked, what does success mean to you? How many people actually know what they want? Okay. And you have to also learn to expect a little bit more of yourself. Ask a little bit more of yourself, because no one is coming to save you. I know you've been told stories about Jesus coming back. What? It's been 2,000 years. What if he doesn't come back? Okay, what do your kids eat? What do their kids eat? So you have to start making a plan now. And also we need to have a little bit of a revolutionary mindset. By that, I mean, it's not every decision or sacrifice we make in our lives that's going to benefit us. Sometimes a whole generation will have to pass for our kids to have it better. These are conversations we need to start having as black people. What is black excellence anyway? Black excellence is not throwing your fucking graduation hat in the air and then after the pictures have been taken, what next? You need to think beyond what your parents did. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start now. And you also have to, this is a cultural thing, right? Sorry to touch on this, but if your parents raised you a certain way, you have to start asking yourself questions around what is it going to take for you to do something different from them? Because if you're going to do the same things your parents did, you end up in the same place that they ended up in. I like to tell my employees this, that just because your mother said it doesn't mean it's true. A lot of us, when our parents had us, they were young, probably younger than we are right now. So they didn't know shit. So we can't live our whole lives thinking mommy knows everything. In our language, there's a saying that a child who doesn't travel thinks the mother's cooking is the best. Tina, we can talk about business all day fucking long. A lot of our problems are cultural, and we need to have the balls to cut ourselves loose of that shit. I had to change a lot of things in my life for me to be the first millionaire in my family. People hated me, people called me names, but it was worth it. Now there's a lot of kids in my family that can go to school because I decided to be fucking different. Now all the people that were calling me names are now saying, we knew you'd make it. We are so proud of you. Like, oh really? I know, right? But I had to be like, it's gonna take that one person in the family to change shit. And that's your perception around money. That's your perception around yourself. That's your perception of your culture. That's your perception of what parenting is. A lot of our parents are fuck ups. When was the last time you heard a black parent say sorry? All those things affect how we move forward. Because it's like, guys, money is a big conversation. Money is not just about money. That's the part we need to understand. Money is all these things put together. Everything you were taught affects how much money you're going to make. Did you know that, Tina?
I mean, I'm learning right now. A lot of it is here. Like, honest to God, a lot of it is here. Like,
That's it.
Because also, Trevor, like, what do you feel about like working for like free? So like this whole thing of like, you know, for the first few months, you know, something is free. Oh, I mean, you're working for free, and then you know you're looking at the prospect of maybe getting commission or just getting money later. What do you feel about that? Oh, by the way, sorry guys, I think I'm gonna just call my son for him to close the window. Quando? Sorry, my windows are open and it's just storming outside.
Oh, okay.
But this notion of working for free, Trevor, like, should we work for free?
Sometimes. And when you do work for free, there has to be a plan. So if you get an opportunity to work with a company where, for example, they did not need you. Let me give you a little scenario where I would work for free. I know there's something I can offer this organization, but they don't have space for me. So I approach the director and I say, guys, I've seen a gap in your company where I could do this. Can you give me a chance to show you for the next 3 months what I mean? But put an expectation in place. Tina, you are the director of this company. After 3 months, if I can prove to you that I can save you money in that area, and I can make you money in that area, and I can build value for myself in your company, can we agree, put it in writing that you will pay me? And we can agree on the money later on, but let that be at least agreed on principle that I will get paid, because now I've created something that was not there before.
Yeah.
So don't just go in blindly. Okay? Make sure that there's a plan. You're willing to work for free because you want to prove something. It's not like working for free until when? What are you eating?
Yeah.
What's the plan? Okay, I wouldn't want anyone to work for me for free. Like that's slavery. Okay, even for you guys that have got the opportunity to get people in your companies to work there, like they can't just work for free forever. If I see that you are worth it, and sometimes even if you're not worth it, but I just see the effort, I'll pay you. Like if there's any of my employees on this chat, they can confirm this with you, Tina. I've got a budget for every new person that comes into my company, because if you haven't been working for a while, what's the hardest part? Getting to work every day and eating every day before you get paid. So every week we've got a little stipend. It's not even an advance. It's just money that I give to help people over the first few weeks before they make money. And some people take that money and leave, but the ones that stay, it's worth the investment. But you can't just work for free, and you can't just use people for free. Some of you guys that are running businesses, your shit is not going well because all those people that leave complaining, those are fucking cases on your fucking businesses. Stop using people. Okay? You are not saving money. You're fucking yourself up by fucking other people's lives. Because some people think they are so good at business. You see, I didn't pay that person. I saved so much money. You didn't save money. You just fucked yourself up. That shit is going to come back to you. Karma doesn't give a fuck if you're a business or an individual to get your ass.
Okay. Wow, I feel like I'm sitting with that like
You,
strict uncle. That's
I
like,
should have, I
listen,
should have told you, man. Some people
you
don't
should have
like it
given me a
tabooing
heads
me
up.
because
Like, okay.
I shoot straight, man. I'm like the Kanye West of my own shit. I don't give a fuck. Like when truth is being spoken, fuck your feelings, man. I feel like a lot of us are too sensitive, and that's why we don't grow. That's why we don't do well. Like we are too. Did you hear what he said? Why did you come here? We're gonna talk about these things. You want help? Listen.
And Trevor, I'm just looking at our time. It literally has been an hour, and this segment is an hour, but I've still got so many questions. I wonder if, okay, I'm going to wrap up because just
Yeah.
for the sake of obviously everyone else, but everybody that's joining in can obviously catch up on this conversation. I heard somebody asking if it's going to be saved. It will be saved, so everybody can watch later. But Trevor, just maybe my two final questions. The one I always ask, people that I interview here, that
Yeah.
what do you think is important? There's this thing of, I can't remember what the formal, like, what in terms of the hierarchy of, like, business. What's important. I even saw somebody said that you always talk about community, and then you talk about what is it, product, and then getting paid or something like that, or money. So what is it that you should be focused on? Is it community,
For
especially now
me,
in the age of social media,
yeah.
or money?
For me, I call them the three P's or triple P. It's people,
Okay.
product,
People.
and profit. There is no business
Profit
without
comes first.
people. So people, product, profit. There is no business without people. And once you understand how to work with people and you get the people, give them a good product to work with, and that will give you the profits. So a lot of people just focus on the profit, but where the fuck is the profit coming from? You don't have people and you don't have a product. Marry people and a good product, and the profit will always be there. For me, when you talk about business, we always start with the people. I'm a people's guy. I've always believed that even if all my clients left me, if I just had the right people on my side, we're gonna figure it out, and we'll
How do
get
you get
another
the right
product.
people?
You first become the right person.
Okay, how do you do
Remember,
that?
so it's all these things we are talking about. You have to. It's like any relationship, Tina. You can't expect to have a good partner if you're a shitty person. Can you? So check your work ethic. Okay, check your consistency in your attitude. Check all these things. All right. So when you start to build a business, you start to attract people like you, because you can't teach people what you don't know, and you can't give people what you don't have. So your team will always be based off you and your standards. Spend time with my team and you'll be like, oh, it makes sense why this person works with Trevor. Oh, it makes sense why this person works with Trevor. And it was easy for them to stick around because there's something that I showed them. You have to lead by example. You can't expect good people when you're a shitty leader. It doesn't work. Okay, shitty leader equals shitty followers, and there's shitty business, and shitty businesses don't survive.
Jesus. Wow. Okay, cool. So before I ask like my final question, just tell everyone where to find you, what you're doing, what can we look forward to, and you're the self-styled king also. Like, where does that come from? Like, what's that all about?
It comes from all the L's that I took in my life, man. So I told myself that one day when I win, people are going to know what royalty is. I'm going to make myself a king. So I did that. You know what I'm saying? I did that. Plus also from my love for fashion, man. I'm lucky. I'm one of those guys who's never struggled to look good. So just that. I just feel myself. And it's important that we all feel ourselves. Some people that know me will tell you, Trevor is such a nice guy, he's a humble guy, but I'm not somebody that likes that tag on me, humble, because I feel like the connotation mostly attached to it is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in people that can build themselves. Believe in yourself enough to create the life that you want. And that's exactly what I did. So that's where Self-Styled King comes from. Where you can find me and what you can expect on Facebook, I'm Trevor Mumba. On Twitter, Trevor Mumba or Self-Styled King. I think when you type in any of those two things, it will come up. On Instagram, Self-Styled King. LinkedIn, Trevor Mumba. What you can expect going forward, I just want to see more of my black people win, man. Like, I get so emotional just thinking about this. A lot of our problems as black people. Did I lose you there for a
I
second?
lost you.
Sorry,
Yes, I
someone was
lost you
trying to
too.
call me, man. So I was saying, going
Oh,
forward, I just want to build more businesses, help more people win, help more people make money, because I feel like the more we win, the better we're going to be. A lot of the self-hate is from the fact that we've got too many losers. So they are drowning out the winners, you know what I'm saying?
woo,
And we just need to keep
woo.
providing the right examples. So if we can help more people make money, believe me, you will be amazed at how much love we all have in our hearts. A lot of people are just angry because they don't have what the other guys have. So let's see how we can help them have.
Wow. Geez, do you provide mentorship? I feel like, yo, this is the kind of like tough love that I need.
Also, the truth, man. That's what you can
Yeah,
expect from me. Just the truth,
the
nothing else.
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. So my final question then to you is like, what is the legacy that you want to, leave behind?
So I'll put it this way, right? And you can think about it, all of you guys, as you go. Remember when we were young and they used to ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up? I had my own goals and I'm achieving a lot of them. I still have some goals I need to hit, but I've got a legacy goal. And my legacy goal is in this question: what do I want to be after I die? That's something
Which
for
is
all of us
what?
to
What's
think
the
of.
answer?
I want to be the guy that made it possible for a lot of others to make it. So my whole life is just about that. I just want to show what's possible. I just want black kids to dream bigger and to go for it and to learn to just say, fuck everything else. I know I can make it. We need to redefine even what humility is for ourselves. That's the legacy I want to leave, man. I just want to be, I want to be cremated when I die. But if there is ever anything built in my memorial, right, I want it to say, he refused to quit.
Woo! And with that said, Trevor, it has been an absolute joy. I'm literally, I got giddy almost because I'm just like, this is the type of content that we need. This is the type of content that I certainly want to have. These are the conversations that I want to have because those days when we're sitting and we're like, oh, black excellence, black empowerment, black whatever, but we are not having the conversation that we need to have, the practical dialogues, the mindset, the how to, then are we really like, are we doing anything? I mean, what's up with this? What's this thing? Power and black excellence. If we're not living it, if we're not sharing, and learning from people that have done it. And so, it's been an absolute joy talking to you.
And there
I'm
is
sure
no
it's not going to be
power
the
without
last.
money. There is no power without money. All
There's
those are
no
stories. No power without money. Make the money and have the power.
bombshell, bombshell, bombshell. Trevor, I wish you nothing but the best. More grease to your elbows. And like I said, I'm sure this is not the last conversation we're having, certainly from my point of view, because, your network, what? Your net worth, your network is your net
Is your
worth.
net worth.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, we need to surround ourselves with like-minded entrepreneurs, and so I'm happy that we connected. And thanks for sharing yourself so openly, like with everyone, And I also think even if it's like one or two people that heard it, my job is done. My job is really done. That's the whole goal for this thing is to bring people that have walked the path, that know what they're doing, so they can tell everyone, all of us, how to get there. And so I'm really grateful to have you here today, and all the best. Any
Thank
final
you so much
words that
for
you want to
having me,
say?
Tina.
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah. Thanks, Trevor.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Bye.
man. Bye. Woo! Righty. Okay, so that has been such an amazing interview. Everybody that has joined us, I would really encourage you to go follow Self Styled King. He really is a beast in these streets when it comes to putting things together, making money. And what's nice is that, it's not like sometimes we need to hear it from people that are not in mainstream. There's always this thing of like, oh, we think, people because they've got 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers, they're worth listening to. Sometimes we need to hear it from, even the most, just people that are unknown, like, and so I think my mission with this series going forward, every Monday, I want to bring you guys the guests that I know can put fire in your heart, fire in your soul, and literally push us to go just even that little further. So thank you so much to everybody that's joining. I'm going to save the live. Thank you so much for the interaction, for the love. We see you, we feel you. And most importantly, we aren't going to be without your support. And so I'm really, really grateful for that. If there's anybody that you feel, so this recorded interview, what I normally do is I post all of my interviews on YouTube. So if you want to catch up and watch the whole interview from the beginning, you'll find it there, as well as some other interviews that I've done previously. But from me to you guys, it's nothing but love. Let's continue building. Let's continue having these frank conversations. I thoroughly enjoyed that interview, and I hope you did too. It really is an honor to have my community of small business owners. We're here to build. That's all it's about. Yeah, I'm signing out, guys. But thank you. Hope you'll join us next week, Tuesday, the 6th of April. We're having an expo for small business owners. There'll be more of these conversations. There'll be more of these interactions. We're going to feed off each other's energy. We're going to build those businesses. Naganjani, we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to do it on the ground. Everybody, can do it. You can do it. I can do it. We're going to do this, and so let's make a commitment to ourselves first to say, let's do this, I'm so energized from that conversation. I definitely think bigger and better things are coming for all of us. And so let's embrace it. As I sign out, guys, thank you so much. Salute. Yeah, people come through. I love how Pat LaBelle is like, come through, guys, let's meet. If you want to meet me, let's meet next week, Tuesday. Register by clicking the link in the bio. It's a free event, so you don't want to miss it. And COVID regulations apply. I'm out of here.